Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be doing our weekly recap for November 27th through December 1st. So right off the bat, we're going to be covering some of the indexes, some of the stocks that I've been watching in December and going forward. Some of them I may invest in if I see a good position to buy. So I will be talking about 3 additional stocks. I talked about my 4 stocks I'm watching or looking to buy in December. I also have 3 that just came up on my sort of watch list and my pop-up on my alerts. So I'll be talking a little bit about those. I did put out a couple articles on my website. One of the main ones is how to invest in either your pre-tax 401k or in your Roth 401k. Right now it's benefit season, so a lot of brand new, I think as a brand new investor, a lot of their options, 401k is how a lot of people out there invest in the stock market without really intending to. They invest in their 401k not really knowing that they're buying some sort of an index out there. So I do talk a little bit about the pre-tax 401k or the Roth 401k. I am still going to be talking about a couple other things. I'm trying to form up an LLC going forward and kind of going through the whole experience of doing it. I'll probably be doing some sort of videos on that. And then of course I did release my end of the month portfolio as far as how it changed month to month between October and November, and it was an amazing month November has been. So of course we did break 200 subscribers. I'm at 201 subscribers, so that's amazing. Of course I do want to thank every single one of you guys out there that have subscribed to my channel. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's on the bottom right hand corner. I do make stock market investment videos weekly, so do consider subscribing for that. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So of course the indexes, S&P 500, the Dow Jones, all moved up. So S&P 1.53%, Dow Jones 2.86%. Dow Jones moved up huge this week. Nasdaq took a bit of a trip back at 0.6%, and then my F&I portfolio had a very strong week. 3.18% increase just in this week alone. So of course I do hope that everyone else had a great week trading. If you want to let me know how you did this week, go ahead and comment below. How did you do for the week? I was green every single day this week up until actually every day, even Friday. I ended Friday on a positive note of 0.17% increase, so I did beat all the indexes this week. This week I made $54.18 in dividends, so I did put out my November how many dividends that was paid, and that was for Thursday and prior. Friday was December 1st, so this is actually going to be included in my December review. So December 1st I was paid from Ford, Costco, Intel, and Pfizer $54.18 total. So starting off the month of December with some dividends. And of course, good luck in your investing. May the odds be ever in your favor. I like that. Let's see. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the stocks that I've been watching. Of course, I do have my 4 stocks I am watching this month, so we'll quickly talk about those. CenturyLink moved up 3.32%. I believe they hit their bottoming out point now, and they're going to start to trickle up slowly back into the $20-$25 range. I do see that kind of happening. Some people in some of the group chats have been talking about, oh, CenturyLink's going to go bankrupt. No, this company is not going to go bankrupt. They do all the fiber for all the local businesses in many of the major cities, as well as some of the less major cities. I know all of our fiber in our town all gets, Spectrum. They all rent and use CenturyLink's facilities because that's where they run their fiber through. So I don't see CenturyLink going anywhere as big as they are, and with the acquisitions that they've done. So they have hit a bottoming out point, I believe. I didn't buy any more shares this week, but they are on an increase of 3.32%. at&t, great movement, 4.85%. Now one of the stocks that I had kind of wanted to add to my portfolio was Comcast. I may have missed my get-go. I talked about this a little bit I believe on the 20th of November. I released my video actually on the 26th of November. I released 5 stocks I want to purchase in December. Comcast was on my list. I didn't have the funds available. I may be still willing to buy a little bit, but they jumped up this week by 7.14%. So I missed the the boat there. They're still a very strong stock, both in growth, their revenue, their free cash flow, and their balance sheets and their income. So, very good stock overall. I will probably take another look at this one and maybe add a few shares into it. Verizon had a very nice week this week, 9.02% increase. They did go down slightly on Friday, but telecommunication, I believe, is going to be turning it around and going forward. So, three of the other stocks that I haven't really talked about too much is General Electric. I've been taking an eye on this one. I believe it's still going to continue to fall. I've been watching it because it has fallen this week by 1.7%. If it can fall, say, another 2 to 4%, let's see, what would that be? 2 to 4%, that could be what, $2? That would be a little bit higher. But I expect General Electric to fall somewhere between the $15–16 range, either at the 15 point or the 16 point, and then that would be a good time to invest because they did cut their dividend by 50%. That made a lot of people sell off the stock. It's looking like it's kind of going down, but I don't see this stock going anywhere below $15. So if it does continue to trail down a little bit, I may end up purchasing some shares into General Electric just because I expect them, I want to get a good buy price to book value. Their earnings this year has been, terrible, but they're starting to thin out some of their sectors. They're letting people go where they don't need anymore. So, General Electric stock moves up 1.65 Fitch's ratings. I don't know when that came out, November 28th. So this is like old news, but they're cutting jobs. They're letting people go. They're starting to thin out different sectors that, different areas of their business that they don't need, and that's great because they don't need those certain parts of their business. So that's one I do have on my watch list here, and I will probably be taking a position in if it continues to drop down a little bit more. The other one here is PPL Corp. This is I believe it's a utilities. This one, their ex-dividend date's coming up. They're one that pay out dividends as of 12/08. They pay out in January. So I was looking to fill a position in my 1, 4, 7, 10 stocks. So I do have two stocks that I've looked at to kind of look into that position. This one has not been amazing this year, their earning growth. So I actually will be charting them out here in just a minute, but this is one that's been dropping this week slightly toward the end of the weeks, which could be a good position to buy into them. Of course, I have to look into a little bit further. It popped up on my alerts. Now I just have to go and do some digging, do my stages of investigating a specific stock, analyzing. And then second one is Kimberly-Clark. Now as far as 5-day goes, I believe they went up slightly, but they had a good position back here. Back in the last month, they had a great buying opportunity around the $110 mark, and that is when I had, they popped up, and I should have purchased it right then and there back at the early part of November. It's unfortunate that I missed that opportunity. They're up over 8% for the month, and I do see them continuing to move up in the month. Their earnings, their revenue, it's been very nice this year in comparison. Looks like revenue growth last year. Okay, so that was revenue growth last year, but this year they're up, I guess, like 1% or something like that when I was taking a look at it. And it's always good to get them at a bottoming out point. Kimberly-Clark, they've been paying out dividends for, I believe, over 30 years, so this is a good position to buy and hold for the long term. They have a good reputation of increasing dividends month to month, and I like to have my portfolio mostly filled with stocks that I can buy and hold for the long term. Some of the smaller positions that I'm in, I would consider 5 to 10 years a good long term, such as CenturyLink. I don't see it turning around in the short term, but maybe in the longer term, like 2 to 5 years, I do see it kind of turning around, so I'll continue to hold that stock. Now we're going to take a look at three of the stocks here that I have. So this is why they kind of popped up in my alert. Kimberly-Clark, they popped up here about less than a month ago. They had a yield over 3.44%, and they were priced at $110. So that was when it came to my attention. I began watching it. I really should have made some sort of a position to buy into it just for the long term. And we can take a look here. Let's go ahead and knock out their price and dividend, bring in their revenue, free cash flow, and net income, and take a look at it for the last 5 years, and then set it up as a percentage. So as far as free cash flow and their revenue, it has gone down slightly over the last 5 years. But if we just take a look at the shorter term, are they going to be turning this around anytime soon? So as we move down into the 3-year mark, in the last 3 years, have they picked it up? Yes, they've picked up their net income. They've started to pick up their free cash flow a little bit. Now, Kimberly-Clark, they're known for tissues. If you think of actually Kleenex, they're very well known for their Kleenex. When you think of a tissue and you're going to blow your nose, you think of a Kleenex, and that's their brand. So this is one stock that I'm kind of interested in purchasing. And let's go ahead and knock down just their price to book and price to sales. So they are very expensive in comparison to their price to sales. Let's just take a look at their price to book. That's actually, 1 year. Huh. Am I taking a look at the correct information? I don't believe that's correct. I can't see them being at a price to book value of 163. So that would mean that you're paying a 16,367% premium for the stock. So of course I will have to take a look at this. I don't think this is the correct data, but let's go ahead and continue. So Comcast, they're slightly over. When I had started to take a look at them back on the 20th, I took a look at them a little bit earlier this month in November, and they had fallen below the 3.0. They had good revenue, free cash flow, and net income for the year. They're up in the positive in the last year, and they've done really well in the last 3 to 5 years too. They're up very nicely. I like to see free cash flow as a dividend ambassador. Right now, their actual dividend exceeded their yield here for the year. They had a good crossover where the yield was over the price. Again, you can see right here that they've thrashed. They crossed over again. They're in percentages. So here, their yield still actually exceeds their dollar price. So they are probably going to be moving back up into the $41 range. Again, it's not like you don't get a lot of. They went up 8% this week, so you can see them jumping up an additional 8%. We're kind of maybe balancing out here going forward. Who knows what's going to go on with it? I guess I'll just take a little bit of a continue to watch them. And then of course General Electric, this one's just been falling and falling and falling. I still believe they're going to have a little bit more room to fall. Of all three of these, I would definitely pick Kimberly-Clark, and then Comcast, and then General Electric. So these are just three that I've been watching. It's always hard. I don't like to buy too many stocks and have my portfolio too large to the point where I can't keep up on news on every single one. I've been buying and selling a few within my portfolio throughout the, not throughout the month, but I've only bought one and sold one, which was TIPT, which is Tiptree, TIPT, which is Tiptree, and this one I just saw as a good buying opportunity. I didn't have to pay any commissions on it. I was able to buy it, wait for it to rise up a little bit, sell it off, and then I made a dividend, and I made a little bit of capital gains inside my Roth 401, my Roth IRA, which I don't have to worry about paying any capital gains on or taxes on my dividends. So that is it for this video. I kind of just want to cover some of the stocks that I've been kind of watching this week. Definitely the telecommunication stocks. I still believe that they're going to be growing in the next week, because of course the FCC ruling is still about 2 weeks out. So I do think that they're going to be moving up slightly, not as much as they have been this week, but maybe within the 1 to 3% in the next week or so. So that is it for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching up until this point. If you liked the video, hit the like button below. Please remember to subscribe to my channel by hitting the little icon in the bottom right hand corner. If you have any questions about anything that I've covered in this video, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye bye.